I I love it. Barbara, tell us about your story.
Well, my story is a little bit different because I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. So for me, we came about 20 years ago here to the United States. And once we kind of went through the rough patches of moving to the United States, we decided to buy a house. And for us, it was very important at that time when my son was in kindergarten to find a great school district. The education was the most important issue for us. And we decided to move to our neighborhood because of 211, the state of the art education, the opportunities that will come tag to that name. And fast forward now to that we are actually in the district, we have seen that it's not what I expected. Granted, my son is a junior now, so when we started this whole transition, it was during COVID season.
Mhm.
So it was really, really hard for us to go through that process, transitioning from one school district to the other, understanding the systems and all of those pieces. Plus, on top of that, there was no follow through in terms of us being able to understand the courses availability for and the route for those 4 years. So it was like, hello, here's your iPad, move on,
Yeah.
right? So it was really hard for us. As soon as things started to open up, I started to advocate at the school level and saying, hey, we need to change some things. This is for the best of the kids. And one thing led to another. I opens doors open for me to participate at some levels in the district. And someone approached me and say, hey, you have done really good contributions to the district. Why don't you run? So here I am running because I want to serve the community. I believe that every member of the community needs to put something into the community. And I also believe that to build the community, you have to love the community. So I really love my community, and I'm here to serve and serve the community well and advocate for those students that are getting left behind
Yeah.
in academics because of this whole pandemic have impacted not only them, but the way the teachers, as echoing what Susan said, the way the teachers are teaching right now, and they're unable to connect with the students because of all the other issues that are transpiring around them.
Yeah, we were just Scott and I were talking about that. I think the number is, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think 10,000 Chicago public school students haven't returned to school since the pandemic. They don't know where they're at. And, it's not accidental that we've seen crime skyrocket in Chicago. So I want to talk about that coming up next after the break. I want to talk a little bit about what your vision is, because you're right. Test scores have dropped across the board. And what your vision is to sort of right this ship, because the pandemic caused so much harm, irreparable harm, I would argue, to students' mental health, aside from academically, socially, emotionally, mentally. A lot of these students that were seniors, juniors, and seniors didn't get scholarships for athletic scholarships and other things because of remote learning. My own brother, Jordan, is a victim of that as well. So there's so much more that we want to unpack, and we'll talk about that coming up next.